Hello, Amanda Neweth here, 6th of September 2021. Now that means that we're not far off from the celebration of on the 9th. For Aussies too, this is an important one because I think on the 10th will be the day that the Freedom of Information on the National Cabinet will come out. Should be released by then, or the appeal, whatever way. Anyway, we've got loads on, haven't we? Loads and loads and loads. So I'm just going to do a reading for Australia and New Zealand. Just what do we need to hear? Okay. All right, what we got? We've got a lot of change. I've got them upside down, sorry loves. Okay. I see that as simple as anything. The energy around us at the moment is that central card is a lot of military. It's also that sort of fatigue after a battle or even after a harvest. Yeah, you worked and toiled all year long and you kind of get this kind of tiredness. It comes with a bit of success looking out over what you have done in your life for the last year. So it might be a moment to just reflect. It's telling me that there's a lot going on with military and a lot of change about. And they're sort of getting rid of it's getting rid of the things that we don't need anymore. Very important, this one, for all of us. What doesn't serve us? Okay. Woo-hoo. Brand new things. Very, very fresh thoughts again. Far, far away from the cruelty of things. Far, far away. A lot of good things to come in. A lot of good things. So it's saying hold the line, really. It's saying hold the line. Get some strength in. Transmute stuff. Okay, well, that's a really good card. That sort of explains, the stuff I provide in my course. It's how to flip over and raise your frequency. That's what it's saying to me. And then we've got rise to the occasion in your strength. Okay, so it's a really important time for us to flip over any negativity we have and bring it into alignment with self. Okay, a lot of revolutionary energy, reckless energy. Be careful with your energy. Opportunities ahead, and only if we have a balanced mental plane. Lots of things flowing to us. Great success and the end of things for new things to begin. Okay, that was just a really quick one. Now, I'm going to ask for AUNZ, for we Anzacs, if there is a further message for us. So by those cards, what they're really saying is that we've got help, there's great things are happening. We just can't probably see it yet, but it's time for us to get our own house in order. And that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because I did have messages from people, from women. One was that they were getting their house in order, going through their pantry, organising everything. And another one sort of was wondering why her breasts were a bit tender, and it made me realise that it's a really interesting time because I'm actually asking women out there, how are your hormones? How are your breasts? How are they tender? Are they sore? And I loved this other key of wisdom that was given, and I think that if you're listening, you know who we're talking about. Was that, of course, we're going to have these kind of hormonal things before we birth a new world, and I love that. So I'd just love to know if anybody else is out there nesting, how your boobs are going. But it's just a really nice thing because I didn't realise that my boobs were a bit tender. So I was just got to go, okay, just take a moment. Alrighty, so this is, they're giving us a little bit of a message here on the polys. All right, on the polys, right. So their foolishness, all the foolishness has been reflected deep, deep, deep inner knowings. It's come to a total completion, or it's coming to a total completion. I suppose what this is saying too is that the innocent folly, the innocence for which all of their stuff started out with, it has kind of caught up with them, okay? We all have to make decisions along the road as to whether we go into the other, decide to do blood oaths or whatever. That's upon our own choices, isn't it? So what I'm sort of getting is that in a way inside of ourselves, we are helping to do that mirror reflection, that reflection. So on that spiritual level, we know that everything is a projection from ourselves, a mirror of ourselves. That's how we start doing all of our work. So perhaps we need to change our tune towards the authorities, etc. And let's see how they would like us to do it, because it's going to bring completion. So that's an interesting message. Okay, so if we're feeling all that sorrow, and I think a lot of us have been, so pain and sorrow gives us that ability to go within. Okay, that's a perfect explanation for that one. When we go within and we can change our own inner worlds, then our outer world changes. Our outer world changes. So for some of us who know that we're actually watching a movie, in the sense that we have to interact with our world, but we know that there's a lot more going on, then we know who to encourage and who not to encourage. We know where to send love, where not to send love. As in, if it's demonic, okay? So in that deeper, deeper part of ourselves, it's going to bring about that justice when we can really go into our deep selves and do the work. Then the tribunals, things like that can happen. We have to be ready for that. We have to be ready for that. So get with that inner work. It seems to be really important there. And of course, the Sun of Transformation, okay, the bridge between worlds. It's the love and sympathy, sincerity and warmth, and all of those sort of things. So we have to give those kinds of energy, even in the face of selfish, disgusting things. That's the spiritual way. Turn the other cheek, etc. But this is a little bit like we're just rejigging something, it seems. We have to rejig. It's an interactive thing that we're actually experiencing. We have to get it. Also, joy would be another thing too. Joy on our inner world, because, some stuff's coming up. Some stuff's going to be happening. Timing, I think it's reliant on us. It's not reliant on external. We know that. Okay, so it's also saying here that all of the withheld energies that they've withheld from us has turned into, well, they've got a whole bunch of really sort of disgusting, mouldy, they've behaved disgustingly, and it's ended up quite a futile. So they're not actually going anywhere. They're not going well. So with all the stubborn energy that's around, the stubbornness that they're creating, it's also an opportunity for us to understand our own stagnant energy inside of ourselves, and for us to measure things up, weigh things up, to get a different kind of endurance out of ourselves, etc., etc. Now, this is opportunity because you know what's available. It can also, you know, be careful of what opportunities you take up. So all that narcissism here, all of the narcissism, they've taken that opportunity for all the narcissism, etc., and all of the oppression. They've really taken the opportunity, and we so know that. So it's like that we're being asked to turn it around. Okay, so we know that they are like this. So how are we wanting the world to be? And if we can start really getting out of the minutiae of the day-to-day information, it will help us a great deal. And there's energies. So when we have our energy really balanced and we're using it in a way that is measured, understood, for good intentions, then it brings us victory and it brings us honor. Okay, so that's for us. Now there's a lot going on for us to be able to turn it all around, and that's going to give us the victory. So this one is all about that creative vision that we can have. So I was quite correct in calling that earlier. It's about the creative vision that we need to do to bring on the new earth. Oh, that's just fantastic. Okay, I shall see if there is another one there. So yes, I really see that the inner work part, even for myself, sometimes I have to go back to some basics, really basic stuff, like having to basically manually cleanse my chakras, etc., or things that I've kind of taken for granted, and I don't notice there's a bit of build up here in myself or there. So sometimes you just got to do some really basic stuff. So how are we all going with all that stress and that tension that is around? The stress and the tension. And I hope you're all becoming very aware that you know, there's the opportunity for the dark side to put attachments on you. I hope you're up to scratch on that one. So relaxation is such an important part of life, especially in such tense times. And of course, that's the main thing I really want everyone to get access to is my 9-minute relax, which is included in the link below. You get all this other wonderful 101 on how to do inner work, my 5 secret steps. But it's the 9-minute relax that I'm really wanting you all to get, because if we can relax, then we can ground ourselves, etc. And sometimes it's not easy to do in times like this. So relaxation brings you a lot of happiness and joy, brings you a lot of gain. Yeah, and it really helps you lift out of the cruelty. Really helps you, doesn't it? So sometimes we've got to do something slightly different. Yep, got to put an end to the old ways. We've got to get rid of the old demons, the old stuff. And I'm finding that things are so quickening at the moment. There's incredible access to joy at the moment, and happiness, and a lot of amazing commentary. People are coming up with the best. Now, this was the best comment that I heard all week. I loved it, and it's from somebody super duper special to me. And they said, wow, I came to an amazing understanding that we're solar panels. We are a solar panel. And I went, this is just great. What a great way of looking about us. You know, like we need the sun. It produces all of our food, everything. And I just loved it. So there's something fun to ponder. So we've got lots of happiness, lots and lots of happiness, that we can actually overcome all the cruelty, all the disgusting stuff, which is all a mental construct, by the way, and we can gain a whole lot of really earthly wealth, gain, flow, really good things to come to us, because we have to open up to what's available to us. The end and rebirth is occurring. We've got a tranquility. that we kind of need to tap into. Tap into those deep hidden things that are sometimes hard to understand, like larger concepts, etc. Like the fact that we're actually all having to understand 5-dimensional chess at the moment to even get an inkling of what's going on. And again, transforming them to get a lot of inner strength. Alrighty. So we need to really check our emotions. So we get a great deal of success when we allow our inner world to actually release the bars of oppression and to understand our emotional life, etc., and to get into our own rhythm. Alrighty, great things to come if we do this sort of stuff. Great. Wonderful. Looking over all of the plans. We can look over our achievements. And we've got the Ace of Disc, which is really new things available. That's what I'm really seeing. So we've kind of got a little shift and lift our game a bit. Okay, and if you do want a hand, it's quite good because you've got, if you click on the link below, you can join me in Telegram. But I've got a really good offer for you to get the relaxation. Once you're in there, once you're in the members area, you can in fact make a booking with me for any work that you need for me to do for you, with you, and also some other intense opportunities as well for you to help lift you, to help do that inner work. Okay, so this reading's about trust. And I'll get cards falling out everywhere. I'm not going to pick them up because I know that I was just distracted. So this is about trust. Trust is a huge thing. Trust is not something that's external, yet we've been led to believe that it is, when in fact it isn't. Trust comes from inside of ourselves. And when we have our proper connections going, we know the truth and we can trust our own intuition, our own gut feelings. Not all gut feelings are intuition, but it can be a bit trickery there. Anyway, so this is all about trust. Oh, I just have to pick them up. So this one here, the Chariot is all about the self-knowing, about overcoming all the ego stuff, etc., about knowing who you are, directing your energy. And it's all about knowing the path leading forward. So there you go. That's what trust will do. Trust. And it is a balance. It's true. It really is a balance of your mental, really being very focused and understanding exactly where all your thoughts are, where they come from, where all your thoughts are coming from. It's very important at the moment because they've got so much technology that sometimes it's hard to know what's yours and what isn't. So doing the inner work really helps you with that. And then of course virtue, we all know what virtue is. That's like a humility, isn't it, as well, with the balance of your physical energy, your fire energy, etc. It's also about harmony, a nice harmony, a bit of confidence. Be confident in it. So science is also achievable, tangible results. Okay? And it's that balance between spirit and nature is a really important thing. So trust is a special thing. Once we've got it, it will give you so much more. Okay. A lot of delusion. You've got to be really careful with delusion. And all that stuff like the desire and lust and all of those things. But naturally we do make mistakes, and there's nothing wrong with that because we tend to learn a lot from our mistakes. So we've got to learn from our mistakes. We've got to understand that we have to know what doesn't work, which is futility, and know what does work. Okay? Because if we go into the old paradigm and sell our soul for the dollar, we have to be very, very careful because it ends up in strife. So if you think about it, the trust that those people who signed up and did the blood oaths, it's really quite a futile thing because it got them into a lot of trouble because they're after all of those things that aren't our virtue, that aren't virtuous. So when we do have that sun shining, things will just fall off you. When you do trust, things just fall away. The things that don't serve you anymore will just fall away. And then the ones that help you to feel that earthly security, etc., will come in. So what's the energy that's coming up is the like that really quick mind, intelligence, active, really active, but also understanding and getting into the spirit of the storm, okay, the spirit of it, and it being mental strength, etc. Thinking outside of the box. That is what sort of like you've really being asked to do, which will bring you things. If you don't do that, failure will occur. Okay, but failure is an interesting one because it also has the ability for things to just disintegrate. So it's a little bit like this one. It can make things just disappear, just flow, go. Okay, so it can actually do that as well. Okay, and of course then you become really self-contained and you can access the higher spiritual and of course the universe and everything that it has in it. This is really that moment. It's like seeds, they hold the intelligence to know exactly what they're going to grow into. And the age-old one is the mustard seed, Tiny little mustard seed grows into this massive, big, massive, huge, big tree. So it's about that intelligence too of that seed and knowing that you have these innate seeds within you that are yours for you to nurture and express exactly who you are, the way that was designed by the universe and by going through your soul, total spirit. Because this is all about guidance, all about your guidance. And of course, we have so much of a beautiful structure. I used to teach a fabulous course that was about connecting with your higher self. It used to take 2 years. And now I'm sure you could get it done in 6 months because there's such a quickening. And this is the thing, like spirit guides, it's best to get rid of all of the distraction and just focus on one spirit guide and know that your spirit guide is there to help you to release all of the stuff that you don't need anymore so that your soul can elevate in frequency so then it can communicate directly with higher self. A lot of people aren't talking directly with higher self, they're talking with spirit guides. So, that's not a problem. That's just not a problem. But we're being asked to really lift. And then with that raising of your energy, then we have that unity. They have the unity between you, spirits, sort of all things, conclusions of karma, etc. And then we can really return home. But there's also the thing of when we've been kidnapped, hijacked as we've been, then it's really a road to nowhere. So do you want to go on the road to nowhere? Or do you really want to and get away from all that deception or start creating your own path forward, which is this central card here. Well, that's just lovely, and I really hope to see your wonderfulness join and click on the link below. You can join me in Telegram, or you can come go over and join and get into the membership area if you so choose, with the other link. And I'll just, for the special relax, that's the main part that I really want you to get access to. So thank you for that. I'm going to take you through, I never have any idea of what I'm going to do beforehand. But I suppose with that beautiful sun that was there, the sunshine and the sunshine that we can access because we're solar panels, I love that. I love that because it's also a fabulous way of opening ourselves up to the universal energies that are available. And I have noticed there's a lot of ding moments going on, a lot of people really getting clarity. So we're going to imagine just now, if we can take a moment, the sun shining down on us, down on our skin, transmuting all the D3 through our skin, warming us. It's the most beautiful, gentle sunshine. We take a nice big deep breath in, and we can feel that sunshine being pulled in through our skin and moving into the parts of our bodies that we need, illuminating, regenerating, rejuvenating. Feeling so good about this sunshine on our skin. We can even feel it on the soles of our feet, and even in our armpits, and even on our thighs. You can feel the sunshine in all the dark places, the places that don't always see sunshine. And from your feet, you can feel the sun here. Next breath in, you can pull the sunshine through your feet, straight up your legs, straight up through your hips and up to your shoulders and down and out your arms. And as it continues up through your head and continuing right up and out into the universe, connecting with Prime Creator, God, you can feel a wonderful generating of energy that starts sparkling all through your body as it starts, you start receiving it from Prime Creator, and it starts pouring down over you, down over your body, and down into the earth. And you can now release all outdated tension, stresses. And you're now in a column of light, and you keep the breathing going, pulling that energy in, moving it around your body, moving into the places that you're feeling tension even. And I thank you, and you can just keep on keeping on. And I'll talk to you soon. Lots of love.